All right, what's going on? You already know what it is. Your man Joe Budden, one quarter of the group, Slaughterhouse, Jersey City's finest. And you're now checking out hip hop since 1987. You heard?
Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.
It's your boy E Money with the homie Joe Budden.
Yeah.
How's everything, man? How you doing?
Everything is great, fantastic. What a time to be alive.
There you go. Now the year's almost over. You know, a lot of things, a lot of projects dropped in hip hop, but we know you about to drop. So you got to tell us, why is your project the best album in 2015? Because I know you're not gonna put nothing out and not feel like it's the best project out.
Oh, my album is the best to me.
Exactly.
Because I mean, shit, I made it. It's personalized to my taste and to my liking. But it's a real good album, man. It was a good year in hip hop. Good year in hip hop. Some good projects were released, and I'm just honored to be able to be a part of that cycle. So I didn't want to miss that. So yeah, great Joe Budden album. Great year in hip hop. They go hand in hand.
All right. All Love Lost, October 16th, as the title of the project.
Yes, it is.
Love the title.
Thank you.
But I gotta ask, why this time All Love Lost? I know the last project was No Love Lost.
Yeah, we did No Love Lost a few years back. Then we put an EP out a few months ago entitled Some Love Lost, and now here we are at the end of the trilogy with All Love Lost, and just talking about the things that are most precious in my life, relationships in every different capacity. We talking about music, we talking about women, we talking about family, we talking about friends. You know, we talking about everything. So the title made sense. This album at this point in my career made sense. Timing is everything, man. So it's an album I'm extremely proud of, and I can't wait for people to have it. I just want people to have it.
Now walk us through your creative process. Didn't have too many features. Loved the record with Marsha and Jada. Gotta ask, what made you pull them two on the album? And break down, you know, how you went about putting the album together.
Well, Marsha is one of my favorite
Shout out Marsha.
Vocalists. Philly, Marsha,
exactly.
Word. Jadakiss I've wanted to work with for quite some time as well. But we just needed the right song, and I felt that this song was the right one. So for the three of us to be on it together, that meant a lot to me. So shout out to both of them for being a part of the project. As far as the outside of them two, I didn't really want any features. I didn't even want my Slaughterhouse brothers on this album, because I was gonna have a lot to say. I had a lot to say. I was extremely long-winded on this project, so I didn't need anybody else to help me with the rapping part. I kind of wanted to take care of that myself, and it took a while, man. We did this album, a year and a half? It took about a year and a half, 2 years. We had to wait for life to happen. So we can be inspired, and it sounds that way. It sounds like all my blood, sweat, tears, heart, and soul went into this. So I just hope that resonates when people hear it.
Oh, for sure, it definitely does. We here at Sneaker Villa in Philly, just did a listening party. Album is amazing. Make sure you cop up. Now you talk about you wanted to link up with Kiss for a while. Well, you killed my next question. My next question was why didn't Slaughterhouse jump on the project? Yeah. Now you said you've been waiting to work for Kiss for a while. The right song. When you get a guy like Kiss, because you're a spitter, he's a spitter. When you know he on that record, is it like, all right, we gotta turn up for this one?
Nah, you know what's funny? I think that was the thing with him and I, because we're both such lyricists. We didn't want to get on a song where there was no concept, where it was just us rapping, and then we felt like, you know, it's the competition and the fans, who had the better verse. Like, we didn't want nothing to do with none of that. So we wanted a concept, and this was said to me ages ago. So when this song came up with Marsha, with this concept, I was like, oh, this would be great. There's nobody better suited for this than Kiss. So it took the onus off of him being a spitter and me being a spitter, and us just collaborating, trying to make the best song possible.
Okay. Man Down. Let's talk about that Man Down record.
Man Down.
I heard you say that second verse, that might be one of Joe Budden's top 5 verses of all time.
Not all time. I won't go that far. I gotta let it sit a little more.
Gotta let it breathe.
But it's one of my favorite verses on the album, just because of the content and what's being said in the verse. all right, let's start it from scratch. Let's put it all online. My character had been defamed. I put it all online. Told them this where we were headed. Said I was wrong all the time, and now we finally here. Waited. You know, that's just talking about that first 8. That's just talking about how, you know, I pioneered this new media way of marketing for artists years back. And I was called a fool. I caught a lot of backlash from my label and executives for trying to market to that audience. And now here we are.
Do the Skypes and the web video, all that.
Yeah, I mean, the trailers, teasers, chat rooms, fucking you name it. I was one of the first to do it in the early 2000s, and I caught a lot of heat from it. And now here we are in 2015, and it seems like that is the only way that people are marketing. So I mean, we addressed that. I addressed some of the backlash that I have caught from carrying my career out that way, because when you're so public with everything, you catch some backlash. And you know, it's just the content makes it one of my favorite verses on the album. Great verse.
Well, with you speaking about pioneering that lane, the great thing about that is that you've been able to kind of hold on to that baton years later, and you're pretty much the only artist with a relevant podcast doing the same thing. And we appreciate that, just so you know. Us over here, huge fans.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Now let's talk about that Love I'm Good. You talk about a lot of things on there. One thing I appreciate, the balance in hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know, you talk about the importance of spitters. The first verse, it seems to me like you mentioned hip hop and this like a woman and how people mistreat. And what made you come up with that record? And also, how can we balance this out more?
Well, that, you know, that's a play off of Common, I Used to Love Her, and a few other artists have used that metaphor before, but I just thought it needed to be done currently in this particular climate that we're in with music, because I think that that's what Common experienced back in 91, 92. I think it was a shift, and he was caught in the middle. It was like, holy shit. And here we are. I was experiencing that same exact feeling, so I wanted to document it. And as far as what we can do to add balance, I don't know, man. You got to give time. There are some extremely talented people out there, some with less of a light than others. So we just need the light to continue to be shed on the new talent that's out there, whatever field of music you're in, whether you're the different producers, the different journalists, the different rappers, the different singers, the different DJs. Like, we just need to keep feeding the culture, and the balance will take care of itself.
Now, I do want you to clarify for our fans where the lack of balance is. Like, when you say the state of hip-hop, from your point of view, what is the state of hip-hop?
Well, I mean, from my point of view, I mean, you have the music business and you have the business of making music. The higher ups, the record labels, what will happen is if I start rapping about sneakers or that sweatshirt, and that becomes extremely popular and beneficial financially, then they will go out and sign all of the people that are rapping about sneakers and sweatshirts and monopolize that field.
Exploit it, yeah.
So what's happening right this second, and I mean, it changes every 5, 7, 10 years or so. What's happening now is a certain tempo of music is the only tempo that is being played and distributed and getting BDS spins. You know, you don't really hear too many songs like a Truffle Butter, for instance, that faster pace. You know, everything is that just double time
120 BPM, trap.
Everything that, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're just not hearing much of anything else. So when you say balance, you know, it's good to have this. You know, when we had fucking Rakim, we needed a Kid and Play. Like, you just need them both. So, and we're just not really getting too much of that today.
Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.
They don't really care about us. See, you can Jew me, do me, like me, kike. Stop right there. Now you can call a black woman a bitch, you can call her a whore, but I'll be doggone if you can get in there and talk about a kike.